Rio 2. I remember watching the first Rio when it came out, and I'll admit, it was a pretty good movie. I wouldn't say it's Blue Sky's best work since the writing is kind of weak, but it does make up for it with some nice animation and songs that are fun and sometimes pretty memorable. But now that Blue and the gang are back for another round in Rio, will it make the audience sing words and the flowers croon like last time? Or will it just poop in our party promptly? Let's find out. The story. The story is a little bit complex when you think about it, but not really in a good way. The main plot of the film is set around Blue trying to adapt and fit into the Amazon with all the other blue macaws, but then they have to stop some loggers from taking away their home. From the sounds of it, it's actually very similar to Avatar down to the blue natives and all. Every plot point you'd think would happen in that kind of story happens here, and it just makes it both predictable and pretty unoriginal. But this is not where the complexity comes from. That's where the side plots come in. There's not really a lot to say about them other than the fact that they have absolutely no point to the main story other than to give some of the side characters of the first film something to do. Rather it be Pedro, Nico, and Raphael auditioning for the big Amazon Unleashed party, Nigel trying to get revenge on Blue, or Tulio and Linda emphasizing on the movie's environmental message. And yes, this is one of those movies. Although it's not as ridiculously dumbed down and painful to watch and listen to as Cloudy 2, it's still pretty obvious with what it's trying to say. Save the Amazon, don't cut down the trees, and
protect the environment, or I'll kill you, Captain Planet!
But anyways, what makes the story complicated is that the movie would often juggle with all these plots with the main one. You'd just be watching the movie and then out of nowhere, one of the characters come in to remind you that, oh yeah, they're in the movie and they have that plot to do. And this is something that happens quite frequently in the film. It just feels like Blue Sky wasn't ready for a Rio sequel and got everything in the story all disorganized. The animation. If there was anything that I was looking forward to see this, it's definitely to see what the animation has in store, and it does not disappoint. It took the beautiful visuals of the first one, bringing out the colors and the life of the city, and arguably made it bigger and better. It gives out plenty different kinds of birds and even other animals to work with, and it really shows in the character animation that they were used to their full potential. It's also nice to see how the animators even made each character, like the blue macaws, look completely different from each other, making them each and every one unique. But the biggest highlight of the film is the scenery and the backgrounds. The people at Blue Sky have captured the true beauty and the grand scale of the Amazon, giving out some really nice moments when the film gives the audience a chance to look around. But it doesn't end there. Before the characters head out to the jungle, they would fly through many of Brazil's landmarks, and just that scene alone is simply breathtaking along with the execution of it. Same goes with some of the musical numbers and its choreography. It shows that it's on the animation that they really put most of their creative juices. The characters. Where the story has a problem of handling too many things at once, the characters have barely anything to offer. Practically all of them show no development or add anything new from the first movie, and some of them are more generic with the type of character that they are. Blue, for example, is just a fish out of water as a city boy in the Amazon, and has only accepted to do this major change to keep Jewel and the kids happy. Speaking of which, Jewel is nothing more than a love interest, while the kids are more the Huey, Dewey, and Louie kind of characters, with the smart one, the troublemaker, and the teenager who's mostly with Nico, Pedro, and Raphael. As for the more noteworthy new characters, they're more the same kind that you'd find in the Avatar type of story. Like Eduardo is Jewel's father, who's more the head of the Blue Macaws, while Roberto is the handsome top bird of the colony that has a previous relationship with Jewel. As for all the other characters that were previously from the first film, there's barely anything to say about them. They don't contribute to the main story, nor really do anything when you think about it. Most of the things that do happen come from the extra animals. The best character that I can think of is actually Nigel. He doesn't have a point in this like all the others, but at least he's funny and entertaining as the over-the-top Shakespearean villain. For the rest, though, the only way to describe them is that they're in the movie. That's it. The only good thing I could say about them is that at least they don't frustrate or annoy me. Having characters with no development is one thing, but the movie won't be interesting at all if they're not gonna do anything. The songs. It's a little hard to determine if you can really consider Rio 2 a musical. Technically, yes, there are some musical numbers in this like the first film, but on the other hand, there isn't as much as either Frozen or Muppets Most Wanted, so it doesn't give out that Broadway feeling that the songs are what it's all about. But when they do come, that's when the movie's fun side shows up. Like last time, the songs are a bit of a mix between traditional Latin and modern hip-hop, with What Is Love being a great successor to Real in Rio, along with Beautiful Creatures giving out one of the most memorable moments of the film. And the best part is that, unlike last time, none of the musical numbers feel like they've been suddenly interrupted. And then there are the numbers by Nigel and Gabby, which I can describe as unexpectedly amusing. They'll feel like they come out of nowhere, yet they're pretty enjoyable. Like, Poisonous Love starts out pretty weak until it gets all operatic, and even a modern take on I Will Survive. Sounds stupid, I know, but it's Jermaine Clement's execution that makes it all worth it. But unfortunately, that's where the songs end. Like I said, there isn't a lot of songs in this, and considering how weak the story is, the movie would have greatly benefited if it gave out more musical numbers to distract the audience, because when the songs do appear, it gives out the feeling that this is what makes the real film stand out from the rest. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad film, but it ain't all that great either. Like the first film, Rio 2 is okay for what it is, offering some stunning animation and nicely executed songs, but the poor writing takes it away from becoming anything special. Even if you are a fan of the first film, I highly recommend you wait until you can rent it. It's not all that worth it to see it in the big screen. And what the fridge are you doing here? I already talked about you in my Peabody review. Anyways, even if the movie's nothing special, I'd take this over an Ice Age sequel any day of the— Oh my god, why?